What's going on, rock stars? Welcome back to another episode of the 1% Life. And if you're watching this live on the 1% Life show on Facebook, show some love, share this out, tag somebody who needs to hear it. This message right now is more important than ever. Why hoarding your money is killing your financial flow. Look, here's the deal. All the gurus are telling you right now to hold on to your money, to cut back expenses, to slash everything that you possibly can. And the reality is, they're all wrong. Yep, I said it. They're all wrong. And what that teaching teaches is the complete antithesis of how money and financial flow works. So we're going to talk about it today. And if you like this topic, let me know where you're coming in from. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this on the right hashtag live, hashtag replay, if you're on the podcast at the 1% Life on iTunes or Spotify or wherever else you watch it, hello. And we're super excited that you're here joining us. So I recently heard an episode of a podcast last night from Billie Jean, from Billie Jean is Marketing, who interviewed Grant Cardone, the one and only Grant Cardone. If you don't know him, you've been hiding under a rock because he's throwing about $1 million of advertising budget into your face, our face, every single day on Facebook and every other platform you can think of. And Billy was grilling Grant, and he was grilling Grant on the fact that he just laid off 42 people from his company. And I'm not going to use the colorful language that he used, but there was a lot of intensity around how could you lay off people? You preach 10x and you're contracting right now. And, one of the other things that I know that Grant has done, and Jared said it, is that his right-hand guy, Jared, he kind of made or encouraged Jared to get out of his luxury apartment, get rid of his car, and to dial and scale back. So why are these gurus telling you to live in fear and to, basically that's what that's saying, and to cut all your expenses and all of the things that, you enjoy in life, perhaps? Look, here's the reality. This thinking is fear-based thinking. It's fear-based thinking. And what they don't necessarily understand about money, or maybe they do at their own level, but not preaching it, is that when you operate out of fear-based thinking, you're telling the universe, and I'll talk about what this means further for those of you like, oh my God, there she goes talking about the universe. Yes, I am, because money comes from the universe. It is energy, and money is simply energy. So if we don't understand how the universal forces of money and flow work, right? Abundance comes from the universe. Abundance is just flow. And if you call it the godlike, source-like energy that flows through you, then yes, that's where money comes from. So if we believe that money is scarce, money is scarce. Now before we get into this, and I'll go into that in a bit more detail and what I mean, and whether you agree with me or not is okay. It's totally fine. If you need more money than ever right now, and you're feeling like your resources are in short supply, or maybe you're feeling like you have some fear around money because of all the uncertainty out there, well, this episode is for you. If you want to start attracting wealth into your life, and you're tired of living at a certain standard, you're ready to now begin to elevate that standard, well then, Rockstar, this episode is for you. Hoarding money, the simple act of holding on to money. I'm not letting it go. I'm cutting back expenses. Whatever it is that you're doing, right? Honey, we're not doing this. We're not going here. We're not going there. Okay. I'm not saying to be stupid with your money right now. But what I'm saying is to be mindful, because every single action and reaction to your money right now, more than ever, matters most. And if you accept this concept that Money is energy. And here's what I mean by that. If I give someone money, or if someone gives me money, they're giving me money in exchange for, usually for value, right? I produce value in the world and somebody pays me for that. You produce value at your job, your employer perceives that equates to a certain dollar amount per year, right? And so the more value we give to the world, the more money we receive energetically. And it's interesting how that just works out. It just works out in that way, that the more value you actually give, the more perceived value the world feels from you, your audience, your market, your customers, your job. The more we serve, the more we get, right? And so when we look at people who have a lot of money, most of them, right, unless they came across it in really shady ways, which sure that happens. Is it the case for everyone? No. A lot of the wealthiest people in the world have given so much value. They've put so much value out into the world that they ultimately are reciprocated, right? They don't even have to deal with it. Like it's karma, right? You put value out, God, the universe, source rewards you. It's just how it is. So if you begin to accept the concept that money is simply an exchange of energy, I give you energy for something, you give me money. You give me value, I give you money. It's just an exchange of money, or of energy rather. And those who aren't giving any value in the world, on the opposite extreme, are not getting any money. So if you're not getting a lot of money, or having a lot of money in your world, or attracting a lot of money, I would encourage you to look at, where am I contributing value to the world? Where am I giving energetically to the world in a way that gives so much that inadvertently I just get? And for a lot of you, this could be a new concept, and maybe you think it's really, woo-woo spiritual crap, and that's okay. But if you choose to stay in the mindset that money is not energy and simply flow, and how can I increase my value to the world, my contribution to the world, which will ultimately mean that you increase your wealth. If you choose to not think like that, what you're choosing to do is to stay underneath a ceiling. And that's okay. However, I know you're watching the 1% Life show because you believe that you're meant for more, that you're ready to become a 1%er, or to get to that next level in your life, right? And here's what happens when we hoard money. When you keep money in a place that is not doing anything for you, whether it's maybe a 401k that's not going anywhere, whether it's a bank account. See, most people think, the average individual thinks that the bank account, your savings account, your checking account, wherever it is the place to store money. It's not the place to store money. It's actually not a very smart place to store money. Because if you're storing most of your money in your bank account, guess what your money is not doing? It's not multiplying. And when it's stuck in your bank account, it's not ebbing and flowing. See, when you think of energetic flow, energy, what I put out, I get back. Money operates the same way. If you're not putting any out into the universe, into the world, putting it to good use, you're not going to get any back. What you're saying is, I just want to get, I don't want to give. I just want to get, just give me more money, but I don't want to give. And so this is where, as we sit in this new world corona era and start reflecting on, how do I get to a different place in my life? How do I break through the confines of what I have, which may not be comfortable for you, and get to that place that money flows easily and effortlessly? And when you begin to do that, you want to think of, how are you operating and being the operator of your money? How are you owning and operating your money, right? you own your money when it is in your possession, when it's in your bank account, in your assets, in your different funds, in inside homes that you own, whatever it is. You are the owner and operator of that money. And how are you being as an operator of that cash? Are you being a good steward of it, or are you mismanaging it? Are you keeping it in one place, protecting it? Hope what that message is, right? I love this way of thinking about money. And it's, if money was your lover, what would your lover say about how you're treating it? I want you to think about that for a moment. What would your lover say about how you're treating it? Oh, I got to keep you confined because if I let you go, you won't come back. Not healthy, right? Healthy relationship would be, I'm going to let you go because I know you're in trust you're coming back because I'm just confident in that place in our relationship. Wouldn't you agree? And by the way, if you are watching this live, make sure that you're interacting and engaging and sharing this out, and so we can help more people understand how the flow of money really works so they can begin to attract more of it. Now, if money was your lover, would it say, all I see is plastic in your wallet? You don't even believe that I'm good enough, dollar bills, to be near you. What message are you sending your lover? If money were your lover, do you get rid of it before it even comes in? If money were your lover, do you not even have any around? Do you push it away? Are you pushing it away? These are the questions that we want to start asking ourselves when it comes to making money and growing money, because here's what really hoarding money means. When you hoard money, you hold on to it, you constrict the flow of money. Money needs a place to flow to. It needs to flow in and out and around and through. It needs to feel like it has energy really attached to the thing that is energy. And when there's not actual kinetic movement of energy, a transactional, I give you, you give me, I'm donating to some cause, and I just know that it's going to go wherever it needs to go without trying to control or manage that. Or I'm investing into something and I will get something in return, right? So when you think of money in that way, you're allowing it to energetically breathe. Money needs to breathe. And some of you are constricting the life out of your money. You're suffocating it. And what that means is that it's not serving you. And if you want to start attracting wealth into your life, and I want to just kind of dispel this myth real quickly, because a lot of people think that money signifies something negative. So this last week, the last 4 days, I had the pleasure of being a part of this amazing rock star named Sarah Centrella. She hosted a course called Future Boards. It was her Future Boards workshop. And we talked a lot about money and beliefs around money and abundance and financial flow. And in those conversations, we released our limiting beliefs around money. Like, what were those beliefs around abundance and flow and creating what I call your 1% life? And she calls, I think, your fantasy life, right? And some of the things that came up in conversation with people was that beliefs they were ingrained with from being a child, such as money is evil. The more money you make, the more selfish you will become. That when you have more money, you turn into a different person. Maybe you have some limiting beliefs and stories of your own you want to share or that are coming to you right now. And those beliefs, I know for me, I was thinking of them the other day, is what were the beliefs that my mother had about money. Well, my mother's belief about money was that doesn't grow on trees, that you have to work really hard for your money, not to spend a lot of money. It was a belief around hoarding money, which is why my mom personally, God love her, rest in peace, mama, never got to grow her money. She kept her money separate from my dad's, and my dad's was the family money, right? My mom would document every little dollar she spent, from, change on a Butterfinger candy bar. I remember reading that in a little notebook, every dollar spent. Now, I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, okay? But what I'm saying is that your parents, your ancestors, right? Your parents' parents had beliefs about money that were passed on to you. And those beliefs about money, whether you wanted to believe them or not, as a child going through the ages of 0 to 7, and some people say 8 years of age, those beliefs got imprinted into you, into your subconscious mind, into your energy field. And they've latched onto how you think and about money and how you behave towards money. Now, I actually took the opposite of my mom. I took the opposite side. So my dad was always like, if you want something, let's go get it. Let's go get it. You need a computer, let's go get it. And I love that. He also, it was harder for me to think of what were the beliefs my dad held on to about money. And I hear them come out now more than ever, now that he's retired. And, my dad's 80. We think he's 81 or 82. Like, we don't really know, which is a whole nother story. It's a different story in itself. But he talked about last week, I exchange magazines with somebody else in his apartment community. And I said, Dad, that's kind of a cool idea. That's great. And he said, yeah, it's an extra, I pay this much for this magazine, Time magazine, $50 a year. And so expensive. I was like, I'm observing and listening to the thoughts that are coming out. I said, Dad, you worked your whole life for this. You're 80. Do you not believe you deserve to spend $8 a month on a magazine? Well, you deserve it, right? You deserve it. He said, yeah, you're right. He won't get the Amazon. Hopefully my dad's not watching this, but he won't get Amazon Prime. He's using my membership, which is fine. It's my dad. Okay, I'm not here to change your beliefs entirely at this point, right? Because he doesn't want to spend the $100 a year. Well, funny thing is, I actually charged a few things to his credit card he had on file. And so he got charged a lot more than that just by using my account, right? So our beliefs about money are not our beliefs about money, unless you've done the conscious work to shift your beliefs around money, which I had to do. I had to do a lot of work around it, because as I grew my business and as I continue to grow my business, one of the things that came up in this class I did with Sarah Centrella around future boards and creating vision boards, or future boards, she calls them. Some of the limiting beliefs I shared that I had worked through already, because I do the work, right? I'm aware of the things that are coming up, or become aware of it because of mastermind groups that I'm in and things like that. I became aware of the fact that increasing my business revenue meant an increase of responsibility. And whereas I actually thought, well, I don't believe I have any fear of success or failure, but if I were to have one, maybe, because clearly there was some self-sabotaging behavior that made me aware of, oh, something's here, right? Something's here. Simply the ability to not commit to doing things like this show that I've now committed to doing every day at a certain time. And we'll tell you what time that is here soon, but every day. Heck, I'll tell you now, I'll probably forget. 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, New York time, every day, right? Monday through Friday, rather, excuse me. I might show up on the weekends sometimes. So that simple non-commitment or resistance to committing to having the structure and the behavior that led to the dream business that I had, that I wanted in my mind, there was self-sabotaging beliefs around that. And what I realized was that when I got successful, which I now have a team, I manage a team whose much of their livelihood comes from me, a lot of it, right? That I have to support now. Well, with added success comes added responsibility. And in my mind, subconsciously, not consciously, there was fear around that. What do you mean I got to be responsible for paying people's bills? That means I have to keep generating income and revenue into my business consistently. That's a lot of responsibility. Would you agree? So, what happens is if we want to start thinking about, or what should happen rather, how to attract abundance and wealth, or just simply just call it money. Some people have a hard time thinking about attracting wealth, and I encourage you to begin to go there. What I loved about the last 4 days was that I got to dream. I got to begin to dream again. And I feel like I had kind of stopped a little bit by simply searching for pictures of things in regards to relationships and wealth and abundance and what success meant to me and joy on Pinterest. That led to another image, that led to another image, it led to another image. And all of a sudden I'm like thinking about things that I never in a million years would have thought that I'd think about or want to have thought about. Allowing myself to dream. And let me share a little story with you about something that came out of that. So Sarah Centrella, incredible rock star, if you're not following her on Instagram or Facebook, you should. She was talking about, beliefs. Yesterday was a day that we were actually going to be creating our future boards, virtual future boards. And she said, guys, look. She grabbed this purse, this beautiful Celine purse, thousands of dollars. And she said, I never believed I could get this, but I put a goal into my timeline, and the goal was an income revenue goal for her business. And she said, and then I hit the goal. But here's what I didn't know would happen: coronavirus. And she said, as I went to go think about purchasing the bag that I had told myself I was going to reward myself with as a symbol of accomplishment, helping her to just touch her dreams, right? We've got to touch our dreams. She said, fear started coming up a little bit, right? Oh my God, there's all this uncertainty right now. But she said something really powerful. She said, if I had decided to not buy the bag that I said I was going to buy once I hit my goal, out of fear and out of uncertainty, she said, that shit would be telling the universe that I'm okay with operating out of scarcity. And that's not okay with me. So she had to do it anyway. I love that. So good. So a couple things happened today I wanted to share with you in regards to money and why hoarding money is not what you want to do. So something really beautiful happened. Okay, so my friend Bertram called me. I could tell he was trying to get a hold of me earlier in the day. I just had a lot going on. So he finally just calls me. I'm like, hey, bud, what's up, right? And he says, look, I'm going to cut to the chase. I am part of a leadership group where we have committed to, which is a leadership group that I'm actually committing to be in as well. I don't know. It's just going to be awesome. Anyway, so he said, I know that you can relate to this when you get there in the program. But he said, right now, we had committed to doing a charity effort. And that charity is Feeding America. And I am committed to getting $5,000 by the end of the day. I said, oh, okay. And he said, it can't be my own money, but I'm committed to getting the charity amount of $5,000 by the end of today. So obviously I know he's calling me to help add to that charitable cause. So I'm listening to him, and do we not all have excuses as to why to not give to charity right now? And what I I told him why we need the money more than anybody else because of all this uncertainty, right? Well, I told him, I said, "Hey, bud, interesting timing. I literally have been giving to charity all week, and now you message." And then I thought, "Ooh," as if what that statement implies to me is that there's not more. There's always more to give, even if it's your last dollar, right? And so I said an amount. I said, "Yeah, I'll give this amount." I said, "It's not my I would like to give to an organization that had less overhead." And then I thought, is that a mindset of somebody who's operating out of scarcity or somebody who's operating out of prosperity consciousness? And here's the thing, and I didn't mean to go into this on this call, on this show, is that if we only want to donate to charities that don't have any overhead, what that also means is that we're saying that the CEO that needs to come in to run this organization, who has a brilliant mind that's helped Fortune 500 companies get even to the Fortune 100, does not deserve to be there and be paid for their knowledge and expertise. Because it takes a certain level of expertise, a certain level of knowledge to get to that place. And if we only want to donate to charities that don't allow, that where 100% goes straight to the cause, are we really operating efficiently and effectively in the world? Because I promise you, they're not reaching the people they need to reach. I promise you, they're not bringing on the level of talent that is required because somebody who has the skills and the talent is demanding more for the value that they're putting out into the world. Simply how money works, the exchange of money works. So I thought, oh, cancel that, Jay. Yeah, absolutely. And then he asked me a question to stretch me. And that question basically said, "Is this comfortable for you?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "I'd encourage you," or made a statement, "to get a little uncomfortable. So what would you be willing to donate that would get you a little uncomfortable right now after already having donated a lot this week?" And on top, in my mind, I'm going through all the thousands of dollars I've spent this week on putting money into the economy, fueling the economy in my own little way, because I believe we must do that or we're going into a deep depression. So I'm thinking of all this money I spent. Like, oh my God, I spent so much money. So, oh my goodness, I spent so much. Oh my goodness, right? All the things that are coming up. And I thought, this is your opportunity, Joni, talking to myself, to step up a little bit and get uncomfortable right now. Because yeah, you're like, I've already donated out. I've got another charity that of my friend's organization in Jordan who's has people living in a third world country who have no food, no ability to work, and nobody helping them but her organization. And I want to help there in a big way, in my way at least. And so I'm like, I know that's still coming up right now. And I did. I increased it, and and so and it wasn't like 10,000 or 50,000 or $100,000, right? But it was an increase for me at that time. So that happened, and then I want to share with you something beautiful that happened right after that. So then I get on a call with my coach, because I never preach what I don't do myself. I always preach what I do myself, rather. And I got on a call with my coach, who was talking me through. He's an amazing individual, helps people, the top 100 become the top 10, helps the top 10 in the world become number one in the world, Mr. Elliott Rowe. And we start talking about, how this brand is expanding out right now, the JoanieDhillon brand, and how we're helping way more people than we could have ever served before and in a bigger way. And then I looked down at my phone and it said that one of my past clients, someone I had not spoken to in a long time, it said, "Cha-ching, your Bank of America balance just grew. Somebody sent you $1.43 with Zelle for," in parentheses, quotes, "inspiration." Now, if you don't know what 143 means, it means I love you. And I wrote back, I said, OMG, I just adore you. How sweet is this gesture, right? Just, left him a voice message back. And he said, I haven't listened to your message yet. I will after I get out of this online seminar. Just sent you an additional $251.43. You are still and will always be an inspiration to me. Let's catch up soon. And how beautiful is that? For no reason. Guys, rock stars, money can come from anywhere. Money doesn't come from work. Money can come out of sheer possibility. The universe delivers money. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that gesture. I was so thrilled about the $1.43. I was like, it's the sweetest thing anyone's done. Like, it's so sweet. How have I even been in your realm of thinking? I mean, I've helped him become a top 1%er in the industry. So yeah, of course. But right now, I'm not in your world. And the fact that he sent that 143, I sent a message back and he said, I haven't even listened to your message yet, but I'm just going to send you this much more. Where can you do that for somebody in your life? Even, Rockstar, if it's a simple dollar. One of the things I used to love about an ex-boyfriend of mine, I'll say it, who did have a lot of money issues, was that even when he was on his last dollar, he would give that away to a homeless person in the street, seriously, with no idea how he was going to eat, to pay his rent, his bills, or any of that. Now, this is somebody who made a multiple six-figure a year income, who was going through a lot of stuff. We all have our story. Yet what always inspired me was that he thought about serving first before he received. And every single time he gave away his last dollar, the universe just gave him more. God just gave him more. And it would show up in the amount of thousands of dollars or $500, or, someone just bought 10 sessions from me for X number of dollars. It was the most beautiful thing ever because he let go of the hoarding of money. That I need this. If I don't have this, how am I going to eat and survive? Bless somebody else with that last dollar. He would say somebody else needs it more than me. I have a roof over my head. And that would inspire me so much. So I hope this session, this episode today inspired you, Rockstar. And I'm really curious to hear, if you're listening live to the 1% live 1% Life podcast when this airs on there, leave us a review, a rating and a review. And in that review, share, what are you willing to do to expand your capacity to receive right now? And what did this shift in your thinking? My favorite quote of all time, I think I repeat it more than any other quote in the world, is one from Tony Robbins, and that is this: it is in our moments of decision that our destiny is shaped. You have a choice right now as to who you want to be. Everything you do, everything you think, every action you take is shaping your destiny. Until next time, rock stars, share this out, tag somebody, email them, whatever you need to do, get them in to hear this episode, depending on which platform you're listening on. The world needs you now as your best self more than ever. Peace.